and then the next project we had was the waves one, and the very first one I made didn't work very well, but after some feedback, I've managed to get quite a nice, oh, I've gone skipped to a different video, sorry, somehow there. But I've managed to get quite a nice movement on that boat now, and I'm working on a little man rowing who's going to be rowing behind him. So hopefully that'll be ready to share soon. But it's yeah, sometimes it's an interesting challenge trying to get everything to do what it is you think it's going to do. But it's a lot of fun and I'm enjoying it a lot. So thank you.
Fantastic. Fantastic. Really nice. I'm going to share one more video, which was made by James Holloway. I hope I'm getting your name right, James. And he made several for his grandchildren for Christmas. And
you can see the result.
And we can see something. No. Okay, so I will share one. I hope this works. Okay, and you can see. And James actually also shared a video, which I'm not going to share with you, but it was the kids playing with the automata, and
it looked very successful.
Very successful Christmas presents. So I think this gives you a nice idea of a lot of different approaches to these different mechanisms, which we've been teaching in the workshop. And for us, it's just been really inspiring, for me at least, I think from Derek too, really inspiring to see what different ideas people have brought to these different mechanisms and just how creative you all are being. So thank you. We did the workshop last year, which was also really fantastic work came out of that. Some of you I know were participants in that. And so it's great to see it developing and continuing. Okay, now we're going to move on to something a little different. And Jackie Penrod is going to talk about the development of a project she's been working on with puppets that she started with us in our online workshop several years ago. And she's really done a lot of developing so much from making the puppets to how to use them, to creating the scene design, to creating a whole show. So we're really pleased that Jackie, who is there somewhere, Jackie, if you want to start speaking, yes, that will pop up. Okay, and I'll spotlight you now, and you can tell us a little more.
All right. Hi. So first of all, I just have to thank Leah and Merrick for this has been such a great adventure. So I'm going to show you a piece that first I'm just going to talk a little bit about developing the piece, and then I'm going to show you a bit of the video of the piece. I was lucky enough to get a grant for a residency at the Chicago International Puppet Theater Festival. They run a puppet lab every year and select 8 artists to spend 8 months developing a piece. So it really is a way to make you accountable and have to do the work. So, which I need, deadlines. But I'm going to share with you. All right, so, all right. Joe from the beginning. Can you see that? Yes.
Yes,
Yes,
it
we
looks
can-
good. Looks
You
great.
can say.
Right. So this was a piece that I made, and I started sort of from a puppet that I made with Merrick and Leah during COVID, actually. And that was this puppet, which is Mrs. Trollope, and began to develop a piece sort of based on her, which I will get back to someday. And Mrs. Trollope wrote a book that was a sort of travelogue about America in the early 19th century. But one of the things that, and these are two puppets that I made with Leah Merrick. This guy I made after doing a joint workshop where I had these joints and then went on to develop the head and the other pieces. So out of the story of Mrs. Trollope, I started noticing things about well, slavery in America, and that a lot of it was around the cotton industry. And then I traveled with my family to Britain, where I grew up. And as we walked along a canal, there's all the remnants of the cotton mills all through the north of England. And sort of the idea that children in both of these places and in the industry were misused. But so that was sort of the impetus for this. And then I was looking at cotton machinery, sort of the cotton gin, and then the cotton jenny, and then the weaving machinery, and sort of beginning to think about a dragon that sort of damaged these children. This was sort of some of just the cotton research, and I looked at cotton plants, and then developed this puppet. Well, go back. This puppet that was a cotton plant. So I took a animal workshop, and this is a crazy puppet, but it sort of used some of the things that Merrick had taught about developing sort of the structure of a puppet that could bend in the wind. And then here, just thinking about the children, a child picking cotton, and then a little girl working in the mills. And these were the sketches for just for ideas about developing the puppets. Obviously, these are not puppet size. And then here are the drafting for those puppets. And then here they are. One of the things that I was looking at was like what the stage should be. And as I looked at sort of weaving and thinking about materials, I saw these old looms on the internet and Facebook Marketplace. Everything is there. So I was able to purchase here's some more of the machinery. Oh, back to the puppets. So that was that. And then, so while I drafted the puppets by hand, the people puppets, I did draft my my dragon, which is based on the pieces of a cotton gin in AutoCAD, like you do. And there's the piece of that. This is not actually finished. There were I need some Automata instruction because it worked a little bit, but it needed help. So I got the loom and made this loom into the stage for the production for these pieces. And then here's an image from that show so it had the dragon and the children, and then this sort of who we called the factotum, but he also was a stand-in for Eli Whitney, who developed the cotton gin. And there's that. All right, I'm going to stop sharing for a minute, and then I'm going to see if I can share a little bit of the video. Where is it? Yeah. Sorry. Oh, Leah, I did it wrong. I'm sorry. I'm gonna have to stop again.
Is sound.
It's fine.
Sound.
We
You
do this.
reminded me about the sound and I still forgot. Okay. All right. This is very jumpy because I edited it down just so it's not too long.
Was beginning to make a name for himself as a manufacturer of hat pins for ladies' drawings. A few years later, young Eli set his fingers to a harder task, getting the seeds out of cotton. For thousands of years, the only way to separate cotton seeds from cotton fibers had been to pull out the seeds by hand, a slow, costly, tedious task. In 10 days, Whitney developed the model of a machine that was to revolutionize the cotton industry. Those who had started to emigrate from the South in search of a better opportunity learned of the new machine and took new hope. The value of cotton land trebled overnight. All over the world, the impact of this simple invention was felt almost immediately. Eli Whitney put together a few boards and rollers and gave the world a giant industry. Cotton was king.
And that's the end. Every time I see it, I'm like, oh, next time I have to direct. I have to get out front.
Really, really nice. Thank you so much, Jackie. If you have questions, put them in the chat and maybe at the end we can talk. But for now, just to keep things going, I'm going to ask Susie to show a clip of her performance and talk a little bit about something which is also about valuing not just money or valuing other things over money, but in a little bit of a different way. So Jackie, Susie?
Hello. So I got really lucky last year with puppetry. I kicked off the year meeting people in the wild. I got to meet Jackie and Rachel, like freestyle, 5 stars for that. That was great. I met them in Chicago. And then I got really lucky and I got to do a marionette miniature workshop online with Mirik and Leah and Susanna and a group of incredibly talented other artists. That's one of the things I always subscribe to Pip's classes for, is the people that you meet and the wild skills that they bring. Someone was like using their harp while they were performing. I was like, oh my God, like I'm never going to get to that level. But I got to do things like I got to make myself a set of new puppets. This is Mr. Spitzwinkle. This is my donkey. He keeps shaking his name. I don't know what his name is. And then this was the star of my show, Frog. He's in his swimmers, which is very important when you're a frog. And the other thing is I got to realize ideas by doing this class. I got to do things like my own little Punch and Judy set for a toy world. But my main exciting thing to do is I got to make a frog puppet vomit. So I totally recommend that. I'll just set that up to share. So yeah, if you get, oh gosh, come on Zoom, don't be silly for me. Oh my God. Sorry, I had this practiced and now it's not doing what it was going to. So share sound. Okay, so that big. So yeah, as soon as, yeah, all I can say is made 2024 like such a valuable, like so many valuable learning lessons. And if you can make a puppet vomit, I recommend it.
I think we have a theme of a new workshop, Susie. Great. Susie, I don't know if you want to, but maybe if you wouldn't mind sharing the YouTube clip in the chat, if anybody wants to see it, since the quality was a little bit shaky from the internet, then that would be great. I just wanted to mention that we are going to get Jackie and Susie both back in person in Prague this summer. So Susie's coming in August and Jackie is coming in June. So we're very happy. We wish you were all coming at the same time, but we're very happy that we get to have you back in our workshop. So yet another reason to sign up now for the workshops. You get to meet these amazing artists. Okay, so next up, we have Adriana, and Adriana is going to do a presentation, as I mentioned earlier, about the work she's been doing with children in mind. So Adriana?
Hi, everybody. Let me share my screen here. Let me move this so I can present. Right. Can everybody see it?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Well, I have been an early childhood educator for a very, very long time, and puppetry is fairly new. I've been involved in, this experience for now a little over 2 years. And this past summer, I had the opportunity to be with Leah and Mirek in Prague, and I can't wait to go back. So if you're not sure if you are gonna go, because I have conflicts this year and I cannot go, so go. So one of the things that I was really interested in exploring with children and puppetry was puppetry as a language of expression, and not just puppetry as something that you use for something else. So you see people using puppetry to help children express their feelings or teach them how to brush their teeth, or you use puppetry for something. And I was interested in puppetry because puppetry is enough. So when I started exploring puppetry as a learner, and I started imagining what that would mean to children, I wanted to create this connection between the medium, between the art form, and the way children see the world and express themselves. Because there is more to puppetry than other objects that are part of their lives. The other piece of this had to do with how throughout my entire career, I have a strong belief in using our hands to create things and connecting ourselves to those that came before us. So from the first year I started teaching till today, I've been beading and sewing and embroidering and crocheting and now making puppets for and with children, because the world is going too fast and there is a need for somebody to give them things that their parents are not giving. So I think that's just has been my mission a little bit. So first, when I started creating the puppets, we were making puppets for them. We were, performing. I was explaining to them how the whole thing worked from a block of wood. So there was the logistics of creating a puppet. That's fascinating for children who are so interested in engineering and even robotics. Like, oh, wait, there's a joint, there's a screw in there. And also, a simple show like the Three Bears that the teachers and I performed for the children. And that was when it sparked in how we created a culture of puppetry in the school. When they see me open a box and get a projector or get a spotlight that says, "Ooh, puppet show." So they don't say anything else. So I think that for us, creating that culture of puppetry is fantastic, because they don't have that from other places. They're watching their cartoons, which are fine, and they're going to see other things, but puppetry just sometimes stays lost somewhere. So from making the shows for the children came the need to create the space and the materials to allow the children to explore the puppets as well. So they were fascinated, would come to my office. I mean, I am the principal whose office is full of puppets, so going to the principal's office is actually a good thing. When you go to the principal's office, even when you're in trouble, they end up playing with my puppets. So that connection that we established too, it's just priceless. So we cut it, the picture on the left. Charlotte is trying to figure out, strings, and the children understand that there is a different life in a puppet that there is not in a doll. I remember being with the children and the puppets, and somebody put the puppet down, and one of the 3-year-olds said, "Well, now he's dead." They don't say that about a doll. The fact that they expect that there will be breathing and life in that puppet, I think that just shows how special it is. So we started creating shows where the kids could be a part of that. But then came Automata, right? So I did the Automata class online, and as I was creating the pieces, I was thinking about that as props and sets as well. So this was a show we did this past summer with the kids. It's the story of the three little pigs, but they're robots. And this was the automata that I had created. So I think I'm very messy when I'm creating, and stuff just turns into something else. I didn't plan any of this. When I finished, because I had to have the final project for the I'm like, oh wait, I can do this. And then it became the show, and the kids absolutely loved. Also, the fact that the puppets were used, I used the bits, the leftover bits from puppets that I had carved, and they didn't have faces, they didn't have a gender or anything, which I think is fabulous, especially for little kids. They were not, locking the character into this boy or girl, thin or fat or whatever. So that was fabulous. Then I again started, working on what could bring excitement to the children. So Automata just kept going. And once in a while, I see the work that my friends have done, and I'm like, oh, I got to make something. I was just telling Chesley, like, oh, I see what you make, and I want to make one of those. So I think that we inspired each other. So then I went to Prague. And what happened there was what I had been craving for. I found a format, a type of puppet that was safe enough for the children to manipulate without us worrying that they were going to fall apart. Because I want to give the children access to the puppet without being worried that they're going to, destroy it. Now, of course, we work on explaining to them that they are not like their Fisher Price toys they can throw across the room. So there is this work that we do with them, talking about the materials. But at the same time, a lot of my puppets could fall apart. And this rod marionette was very reliable. So this was the one that I carved in Prague. And then I came back, and with my puppet robot that I had brought from Prague, that's the first one we use when we're starting to carve. And then I created another one, and I, of course, had Mirek's book to, help me remember what I had forgotten from the lectures. And I started, making new ones. And now, because of how much I have been, excited about the work that you all have been doing, then I started making the little toy ones, the little marionette. So these are still work in progress. I still need to figure out how I'm gonna make these ears move, but these are still examples of how we are still, you keep learning, and you keep developing, other ideas. So I don't even have the controllers for these yet. So the idea is to make puppetry accessible and to respect this art form for what it is and what it can bring to all of us. It is about the connections we make. It is about the connections the children make, and it is about storytelling. So I do appreciate how much this kind of puppetry has allowed me to develop new characters with no fear, and I can wait to see what the children are going to do with that. So thank you again for the opportunity. Thank you for inviting me and letting me share a little bit of this journey.
But thank you, Adriana. And I wanted to mention to everybody that Adriana actually wrote I think 2 blog posts for us also on the website. And one is about working with the wire or rod marionettes and why they're so great with kids, why it works so well with little kids. It's a big tradition here after puppet shows for puppeteers to invite the kids on stage to try the puppets, which is something that with wire marionettes is not so risky. A lot of fun. Okay, I also wanted to mention and introduce Bob Booth, who did a really fantastic project this year. And Bob created a show in LA about Huck Finn. And he worked with some masks that were, and puppets that were inspired a little bit by some of the work that Merrick had done. So Bob, there you are. Is it okay? Is it okay if I spotlight you and say something about the project? You're muted, I think. Are you?
Yeah, can you hear me now?
Yeah,
Now,
perfect.
Okay. Yes, I spent about 4 years building a show based around the adventures of Huckleberry Finn. I made about 8 main puppets. Merrick had shown me a face that you could move the eyes with your index finger and the mouth with your pinky. And so I asked him if he would make me some of those so I could apply my mask making to those. And he very graciously did that for me, and it really helped in the show. I just emailed Leah a little 1 minute, 50-second trailer from Huck Finn. I also have the whole filmed version. But it was last February, and it was enormously successful and a great labor of love. And I was very proud of it. And I just got in the mail this, which is the Chicago Puppetry Festival thing, which I definitely want to check out next year. I just was so busy with my show. But now that I have the show, I'd like to be able to maybe tour it places where people who enjoy puppetry and are fans of puppetry can do it, can see it. So anyway.
Bob, are you able to share the trailer, or I don't have my emails open. So if you have it,
I have the trailer on my desktop. I just don't know how to share it.
If you go to share screen, or just share, there's a little green.
Share, okay.
Click on that.
Okay.
And when you do it, there's a box that says share sound.
Yes, hold on. Share layouts and options I have. Hold on, entire screen. I should do that, right?
Yeah.
Oh, hold on. Grandpa really has trouble with the whole internet thing. Hold on, let me, here we go. Let me bring it up on my screen, and now let me see if I can share it.
That's good, it's shared.
It's shared. It's good.
Try playing it and we'll see if the sound goes.
Okay, hold on one second.
We can see it now.
You can see it?
Adventures of
Hello.
Huckleberry Finn.
I would hear it.
Stage in a highly theatrical manner with unique and original carved puppets representing the characters who inhabit Twain's classic novel. Although the 85-minute performance features 12 different characters, there is only one human actor, Robert Bute, who commands the stage as both narrator and puppeteer, aided by an antique moving image screen that sets many of the scenes of their journey down the Mississippi. And pretty soon, you couldn't hear nothing except frogs or something. So come join Jim, the runaway slave, as he and Huck travel towards freedom. And now, Huck, I owes myself, and I's worth $800. Premiering to great success in Los Angeles in early 2024, audiences have been charmed as the show brings to life the hilarity, joy, and spirit of Twain's classic novel. Perfect for a new generation of lovers of literature, the show recreates the true spirit of Twain's book. I Puppet, you can do soliloquy. Hamlet, quick! It's the most celebrated thing in Shakespeare. It also makes for a wonderful talkback on any number of topics, from Twain's brilliant and satirical point of view of America in the 1800s to slavery and race, to the design and operation of these colorful and stunning puppets. Created to be affordable and easily producible in small theaters, the show can be tailored to any length. It requires an intimate theater, a few lights, and we bring the rest. One of America's greatest literary treasures is now a thrilling theatrical event and available for booking in theaters everywhere.
So that's it.
No, and I have seen the whole thing, and I can say it's really fantastic. Bob, do you have any plans for future performances?
Well, we're trying to figure that out. The set was larger than I wanted. It was the only mistake I made when producing it. I said I wanted a portable set, and the designer, I found out later from someone else who's worked with him, the designer apparently doesn't do small sets. So we're trying to figure it out now. When I saw this Chicago, I had just seen The Life and Times of Michael Kay, which is amazing. If you guys ever get a chance to see it, it was a wonderful performance. It was here in LA. And I'm trying to figure it out now. You know, there's a whole circuit you can get on, but it's a lot of work to get on it. And I'm wondering if I don't want to spend the next year or two building more things for another show or whatever. But I'm looking to maybe take Mark Twain, Jim, the King and the Duke, who are the two comic characters, and turning it into a 65-minute show that I could have a banner in the back and go to Mark Twain festivals or whatever and use the puppets there. Because the puppets were very popular with the audience. And so I'm trying to figure out a way to do it where I wouldn't need to ship the set, because the set is big.
Yeah.
So anyway, I'll figure it out and I'll keep everybody informed.
Super.
Thank you.
Maybe just one comment. Bob was one of our very first students in the year 2002?
2001.
2001. Is there anybody out there who came to Prague earlier than that? I don't think so. Not today.
Not today.
So, Bob, you are
I'm the old guard.
You're the veteran.
I'm the old
No,
guard.
we're the old
But
guard.
I swear I want to come back. So maybe this summer will be the summer. I've
Oh,
said to my wife, I got to go back to Prague and work with Leah and Mirek. So
we would love to have you. Okay, so the next phase is we announced a call for finished puppets. So if you have a puppet that you would like to show the audience that was made in 2024 and you have it next to you, maybe the best thing to do would be to raise your hand, like there's a little raise hand thing, and I will call on you and you can unmute yourself. And whether or not it was made with us, if you want to show something to the rest of the group, maybe we can have like a 2-minute, 1-minute time limit so it doesn't get too long. Then this is the time. What have you made in 2024? And I see Adriana's hand go up. I also see a lot of our students from the summer of 2024. So I know you made something, but maybe you don't have it next to you. But if you do, then you're very welcome to show it off. So we'll start with Adriana. And if anybody else has a hand going up, we will be happy to see your work.
Okay, so this was the marionette that I made in Prague. I was inspired by Andrea Neves, which is a Brazilian illustrator. So that's why her facial features are a little different. Mirek and I were like figuring out the whole fabric hair thing. So I remember I got a compliment from Mirek on that one, which made me so proud. Leah said, that doesn't come very often. So it was kind of a solution that, I didn't plan, but as you're there and you're exploring the materials, you kind of have ideas. So then I got back home and then I made my Penrod, which was created with the puppet robot that I had brought from Prague. So you see, it's just the flat piece of wood that was the body. So there's not much here, but he is again very effective, and that's what's so special about, these puppets. And then after this one with the other puppet robot that I brought. So I don't have any more left. I gotta go back, Mirek. Send me the wood before you put it in the fire. So this was the one that I created, and my son Nicholas said he is a cobbler. So I don't have a story for him yet, but Nicholas said he's a cobbler that also sells tambourines. So that's the story that's yet to be written. So these were my 3 puppets and the little ones that I've been putzing with. And there's Automata, but I'll let other people talk.
Thank you.
Okay,
Wonderful.
yes. If anybody needs a puppet robot, into our box of firewood. Next is Jose. Jose told me that his polar
Oh, thank
bear,
you.
a polar bear might be in the world. Or Jose, what did you want to show? And you're muted. Jose, you're muted, so unmute yourself.
Still muted? Yeah.
Okay,
Now,
Yeah, good.
perfect.
I took the course with Merrick 4 years ago and he prepared me a project with a polar bear. I constructed, but it was too heavy. So I modified the design to this. Now it's a standing polar bear, and now I'm going to show you the puppet. Here is a puppet.
Oh. Wow.
Here it can move the legs, the hand, the head, but cannot open the mouth. So I still have to paint it, but basically that's the puppet.
Fantastic, congratulations. Really,
Beautiful.
really nice to see
Beautiful.
that animal. I think there are some other animals out there that some of you have, which can be your next year. Really,
Yeah,
really
nice
nice.
carving.
Yeah.
Really nice carving and joints looks fantastically made. Yes. Yeah.
yes.
Congratulations.
I wanted to show.
Okay, Nicole, you're next, and then Susan, who are both in Prague. So, Nicole, do you have your puppet close by?
How can I make myself big?
I am making you big.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, I was in Prague in August, and here is a queen. Hello. The experience in Prague pushed my puppeteering amazingly, and since then I haven't stopped. So these are two puppets I made long ago. It's a dog and a cat. Can you see them?
Yeah. Nice.
And they are on their second show now. So they have lots of adventures and they venture into a post office and things. And I made the Little Red Riding Hood. So here she is.
Lovely, lovely.
And the grandmother. And the wolf, which was a lot of work because I had no idea how to do it.
Yeah.
He's not really dangerous, but I think he's sweet.
He is very sweet. Yes.
Yeah.
Nice.
Oh, thank you.
Nice.
Thank you for showing your work. Very nice.
Okay, thanks, Nicole. And then Susan, you also, I see your hand up.
Yeah.
So let's see, show us your angel.
I wanted to show you Clarabelle. She is wonderful. I love her. I'm so glad I did Prague. And that's all.
Very nice. Very nice. She's a beautiful puppet. I think we're going to need some angels this year. So it's a good thing. Everybody needs to make some angels for all of us. Okay, anybody else? I know there's some other people who are in Prague. Caden, fantastic. Caden is supposed to come with us to do both workshops this summer. So we're very excited. Made.
Yay. I didn't make marionettes that I have on hand this year, but I made a lot of puppet versions of this dog for Chicago was doing online workshops, so I made this version of him that reveals his eye. And then I made this version of him which rains bones.
Oh, wow.
And then I made this version of him which he's missing some pieces, like he has a movable nose that's off right now because I'm fixing it, but made a really big version of him as well. And that was all through the Chicago Festival. And then I started doing some cardboard sculpting on this guy.
Nice. Great. Super. I
Thank you.
think I saw a real dog back there too.
That's the model.
Great. Jessica. Unmute yourself, please.
Sorry, the button didn't want to go. This, oh, my dog is having a fit today. Was not a Puppets and Prague Merrick puppet, but I made this one. And yesterday at rehearsal, I fell down some stairs and lost a leg. So I guess that is a good lesson to switch to Merrick's joints. But she's been fun. We're rehearsing a show right now and hope to take a little slam piece to Chicago.
Fantastic. Great. Really nice. Nice. It looks beautiful. Great. Thank you. Anyone else have something they'd like to show, or we're going to have to ask Mirek to show something. Прошу казати інфекцію. Yeah. So Mirek has a little homework that he can show you, which is during these Automata workshops, Mirek often makes new prototypes for himself to show students how to make them. And this time he made a very long waves mechanism.
The biggest wave mechanism
in our workshop.
In our workshop. Yes.
And we don't have our camera set up because it was complicated. So we're going to just try to do it with this camera from the computer. I hope that you all can see it. So I'm going to make us bigger.
Well, now we can reveal it a bit. Powered by one man. And
No, I think it's a better angle.
So 1, 2, 3 waves, and they work together. And as you see, there are 2 boats struggling in a wind to move around. So this is the biggest wave mechanism I ever made, and I'm applying the Guinness Book of Records. Maybe. Thank you for your.
It just takes a lot of space. That's the only problem with this. Okay, so does anyone else have something that they would like to show? Or if not, I have a final task. Hold on. And my final task for you all, either in the chat or we could just chat if you have an idea, is my question: what should we do in 2025 for our 25th anniversary? Different ideas are very welcome. We hope that these puppet recipes end up being something that are something people enjoy doing. We've kept it quite inexpensive, I think, because we really feel like keeping that community going, which I think we had during COVID more because everybody was online so much, is something that we want to do. And what we've discovered also is that when there are these deadlines, as Jackie mentioned, that seems to often help people finish projects. So we don't get upset
So we
when
create
the deadline is.
deadlines this year. We create deadlines for ourselves, but also for our students. So there is some push to create and finish things.
Yeah. And I'm trying to do it with my articles too. So, it's because I enjoy writing them, but you always need a deadline. So, so does anyone 25 day countdown? How you can also say it, like if people want to speak, not just in the chat. So how about a puppet parade? Puppet parade sounds good. Not sure where is the other small detail. Bob.
Yeah, I just wanted to congratulate the two of you. Your online presence is fantastic. The fact that you're making these videos is wonderful. I'm just really, really impressed with the way you've managed to kind of go online and open up your wonderful workshop. So I'm just very pleased to see everything you guys are putting out, the book and everything. You should really be proud of yourselves this last year because you've done an amazing job.
Thank you. Thank you very much. It's a 2 steps forward, 1 step back sometimes.
Thank you.
But thank you. Thank you. When we
It's a lot of struggle for, especially for Leah, because as you said, we are veteran. Young people are dealing with all this stuff much easier. Yes.
we've hired our son. Yep. Anyone else? Somebody mentioned something in the chat, which I will read because it was a puppet recipe goal where we all make a puppet to share with the 25th family, the Puppets in Prague family 25th anniversary. We have to decide exactly when that is. Really August. That was our first workshop. A puppet parade. Yeah. Adriana, what's your idea?
I don't know. It's not an idea. I was just following what Bob was saying. I just want to mention that I appreciate how you are so generous and how you create the opportunity for all of us. I think that that is something that we should never take for granted in this world of creatives. People have big egos, and I appreciate so much how you celebrate our success, like how you create the space for the students to make mistakes, to create new things, and you don't, say, oh, it shouldn't be like this, it should be like that. You create, there's wood, there is 3D printed stuff, and there is polymer clay, and we're all here celebrating everything that can be in puppetry, and you are so generous, and I appreciate that so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. That's really sweet.
That's the good sentence to finish.
But we don't have to finish there. Well, I mean, just to follow up maybe with Adriana's, like I think that both of us really love seeing when you all come together and inspire each other. I know last year there was a little mini Puppets in Prague reunion at the Chicago Festival. Maybe there can be again this year. I wish we were there, but it's also really lovely. Rachel and Jackie and Susie and Bonnie, I think like a whole bunch of you. Maybe I can't remember if Beth was there.
Myra was there.
Myra was there too.
Yes, Myra is showing stuff this year as well. So anyone who's coming, she has an exhibition in the sort of the main puppet hub for the festival, which looks fabulous.
But how many of you are going to the Chicago Festival? Do you want to just like raise hands, or so Jessica's going? I don't know if anybody.
I have to learn more about it. I don't know when it is.
It's in 2 weeks, I think, or a week and a half.
There it is.
It's an annual festival. It's, I think, one of the biggest in the USA now, maybe the biggest, but really, really great companies are going there. So, and some great workshops, and yeah, there's a really good stuff coming out of that, it seems. So
yep.
We're jealous of you all for getting
warm here in January too.
All right, I have to say there's a lot of festivals in Prague in June. So not so big, but a little warmer. Yeah. Any other like ideas or thoughts or things about what you would like us to do this coming year, or anything else, just ideas? Or I would also love to hear how Todd and Andrea are doing from their relocation from Indianapolis to LA. There's so many LA people there. And Andrea and Todd have made tons of puppets with us as well, and just moved.
Did you moved? You actually left?
Yeah, we just moved in
June.
May, June. Yeah. So we're
Wow.
in the LA area right now. And we've already met Bob in real life. If anyone else wants to get together, we're here. I'm kind of what?
Caden is in LA too.
Caden, yes. We should have a puppet day. We don't have any new puppets to share because we've been moving and figuring things out.
yeah.
But everyone's work is so amazing and beautiful and inspiring that I just want to run out and start making something right now. So yeah, but we're doing great. Yeah. Yeah, we did have friends over with little kids, and both sets of kids love playing with the puppets. And our other friends really love the little cyclist guy that we got from
Merrick's toy.
Yeah, and so they had a lot of fun playing with that as well. So it's really fun.
And one of them brought their string puppet, and we were able to restring it because it was strung completely wrong. So we helped sort that out. That was very nice.
Yeah.
A business
becoming
restringing that business. Well, we saw Merrick's cyclist toy in the V&A Museum in London, where we were visiting in the fall. We were visiting Tinka. I'm not sure if she's here, but Tinka Slaviček is another wonderful puppeteer in London. And so we saw Merrick's toy the big time. Victoria.
Hello.
Hello, where is your marionette? I was hoping we would see her. She's
Zlatoblaska, and I would like to say thank you so much for having us in Prague. Here she is. And she saw her mom over there with Nicole. And I made some krakovci as well. They're not puppets, but I just wanted to make them. I might do something with them. I might reenact the fairy tale someday, but I just wanted to say thank you. I have to go to work, so I'm going to have to leave you now, but I will see you in August.
Yes, and you'll be there with Susie, a fellow Australian.
Oh yeah, oi oi oi. I'm very happy to know that, and yeah, you've changed. That workshop last year it really did change me, and it added something to my just life as an artist and just as a person. I loved it. I loved being there. So you're going to have me back again this year. So
yay.
I can't wait to see you both. Thank you so much, and Happy New Year to you and to everyone.
Maybe it is actually 10:30 our time, which is sort of the official end, although we can keep going if people want to. But before we go, maybe if you have a glass of something or a cup of tea, which Eric has here, maybe we can all do a toast, not a post, but a toast. And here's to puppets, and here's to you and all the great creations and friendship. Maybe more importantly, that has come out of the last 25 years. So here's to 2025. May it be a creative, positive one. Cheers.
Cheers.
So I finished my tea.
I don't have any tea with me, but if people want to keep talking, then we can. But you know, I also wanted to give you a chance to feel like you don't have to stay on a Zoom. I'm going to stop the recording. I started the recording late. I'm sorry. I didn't. Hold on. So